Welcome to Fight News Now. I'm John Pollock with you for the next half hour as we chat the latest in mixed martial arts. The UFC is coming off one of the best fights of 2014 this past weekend, and we'll take a look at their featherweight division with comments from Conor McGregor and also hear from Dana White, Daniel Cormier, Michael Chandler, and Andre Fili. Plus, John Ramdine and Robin Black are ready for another 3 rounds. We have a special look at the new Call of Duty game on the shift, and it all begins with this week's newsmakers. Jose Aldo successfully defended his featherweight championship on Saturday, and many fans are clamoring for Conor McGregor to be fighting for the title, but that won't be happening. McGregor is set to fight Dennis Siver on January the 18th in Boston, and he was in Brazil all week, casting his shadow over the event. McGregor spoke to the media regarding Siver and his skill set.
I think a lot of people, they have that approach. They sit out and wait, and in my mind, the belt is already wrapped around my waist. I already walk around like I'm the world champion, so it's about money. I'm fit, I'm healthy. I want to compete as much as possible. I tried to get on the Mexico card a few weeks back. They pulled that, and then Joe Lozon got injured. I tried to get on it again. They pulled that. So I just want to continue fighting. I am the world champion in my mind, and I will keep competing. So in my mind, it's not a risk. I'm already the world champion. I'm simply eliminating contenders. I said before, one by one, every single one of them will be gone. So I'm in the process of that. He has cheated in the past is another thing I will use. He was caught on the stuff that hides it. Now that's how deep he was in that. How deep was he in that game? That he was actually using stuff to hide it from the testing. That to me, I don't respect that one bit. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to rip his head off, and I'm going to punish him for it. He's short, he's compact. He doesn't put his shots together well. I see it being, I know, I say first round every time, but this will be another first round.
The decision to pair McGregor with Siver has drawn some criticism among fans wanting to see McGregor going for a championship. The fight will headline a Fox Sports 1 card from the TD Garden in Boston, and UFC President Dana White defended the promotion's matchmaking decision and having McGregor return to Boston, this time in a headlining capacity.
A lot of people are dismissing Siver and saying, oh, this fight's ridiculous. Siver knows exactly what happens if he comes in and beats Conor McGregor. It's a huge win for him. You know he's going to take this fight serious and he's going to come in to try to win. So there's no sense in really even talking about the Aldo fight. But if he should win, we would definitely be interested in making that fight. But this has to happen first. So let the Siver fight happen first, and we'll see how everything plays out.
With the weekend off for the UFC, it's a good time to take a look at the championship landscape in the promotion. Jose Aldo represents the only Brazilian to still hold a title in the company, as the United States has a stranglehold on the championships in the promotion. We took a look at the biggest international fighters to keep your eye on as they work towards unseating the Americans on top.
Despite a roster that boasts fighters from across the globe, the UFC has just one champion from outside of the United States. While this isn't necessarily a problem, it does beg the question: which fighters from outside the US could claim titles in the near future? With Cain Velasquez dropping out of UFC 180 due to injury, #1 contender Fabrizio Verdum will take on Mark Hunt for the interim strap.
Oh, that's it! Oh my! It is all over! Never done before! Hunt by knockout!
At light heavyweight, Sweden's Alexander Gustafsson is clearly next in line for the title. However, with names like Anthony Johnson and Rashad Evans being thrown around, it seems like he'll be forced to fight one more time before facing the champion.
John Jones, I want my title shot again. I'm right here, right whenever you want, man, whenever you want.
Vitor Belfort is set to face Chris Weidman for the middleweight strap at UFC 184, and if he looks as good as he did before the TRT ban, the Phenom could easily take the belt back to Brazil. After starching Tarek Saffiedine,
Huge knockout for McDonald with the left hand!
Rory MacDonald was granted #1 contender status and will face the winner of Hendricks vs. Lawler sometime next year, with the chance to truly become the next GSP. With no clear lightweight contender after Gilbert Melendez, Rafael dos Anjos did his best to take the spot, knocking out former champion Benson Henderson. Khabib Nurmagomedov has also been cleared to train, and with 6 straight wins inside the octagon is right on the verge of facing the champion. At featherweight, Aldo remains the only non-American champion. However, he does face a threat from a fast-talking Irishman.
I'm already the world champion. I'm simply eliminating contenders. I said before, one by one, every single one of them will be gone. So I'm in the process of that.
At bantamweight, TJ Dillashaw will face fellow American Dominic Cruz next. However, both Renan Barão,
spinning back kick to the body, flying knee,
as well as the last man to beat the champion, Rafael Assunção, are right on the doorstep of a title shot. As the only fighter in the flyweight top 5 who has yet to face the champion, Jussier Formiga is probably one win away from facing Mighty Mouse, as he takes on John Moraga at UFC on Fox 13 in December. Having run through the entire top 5,
oh my goodness,
Ronda Rousey continues to look for challenges, and with number 8 ranked Bethe Correia taking aim at the 4 horsewomen, she could easily be staring across the octagon at the rowdy one. And in the promotion's newest division, we could see number 2 ranked Joanne Calderwood become the first ever Scottish UFC champion. Whether the UFC needs foreign champions or not is debatable. However, with global expansion, it certainly couldn't hurt.
Featherweight Andre Fili returned to the win column on Saturday with a unanimous victory over Felipe Aranches at UFC 179. The Team Alpha Male member spoke after the win regarding the need to find the W after a loss to Max Holloway earlier this year, while at the same time putting on a strong show for the audience in Brazil and tuning in that night.
I feel like I've never really been in a boring fight. Just the way that I fight, I think as long as I'm pursuing the victory and looking for the finish, the fight will be exciting. You know, obviously I want to entertain people. I never want to be in a boring fight. I don't think I've been in too many boring fights. I think as long as I'm pushing and looking for the finish and trying to get the win and doing everything I can to get the victory, I think it'll come out, you know, to be an exciting fight. You know, I'm not really a guy who is going to lay in someone's guard and just hang on and edge out a decision. You know, if I'm going for the win, I'm going for the finish. You know, I'm trying to attack and be aggressive, and I think that's what makes exciting fights. 2 guys being aggressive, looking for the finish. That's what people want to see. So as long as I'm trying to win the fight, I think being entertaining will come along with it. You know, some guys don't have a very exciting style. They kind of grind on people and, you know, edge by decisions. I'm not really that guy. I've never really been that guy. So I think as long as I stay focused on winning, it being entertaining will come naturally, you know.
We are closing in on 2 months until the big light heavyweight title bout between Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier, which will start 2015 off with a huge card at UFC 182. Cormier is no stranger to high-pressure situations, having represented his country at the Olympics, and he certainly is going to feel the pressure mount as he gets closer to his first UFC title opportunity and a chance to end the near 4-year title reign of Jon Jones.
All the cameras and just the pressure that comes with fighting, it doesn't affect me. I mean, I think it's something that you've prepared for, and I know for a fact that wrestling prepared me for it. Is it different? A little. I mean, you feel that it's bigger. I mean, to completely block that out, it would be impossible, you know? You go from wrestling in the arena, the biggest tournaments, you know, the U.S. National Tournament, there's 3,000 people maybe. The Olympic trials, there was a big one, it was 9,000 people to fighting in front of 18,000 in Houston, you know? So for you to actually think that you can block that out, it's nearly impossible.
The Bellator lightweight division is going to get a lot of focus over the next few weeks as Will Brooks and Michael Chandler will square off on November the 15th for the championship with a contender in Dave Jansen likely to be the next in line for the winner of that fight. We now check in with Chandler, who discusses the state of Bellator's 155-pound weight class.
You're never happy or satisfied with a loss, especially, you know, a split decision like that, and just me not being able to perform at my highest level or what I could show was definitely, you know, a tough pill to swallow. But at the end of the day, it is an organization that's growing, and guys like Will Brooks, guys like Dave Jansen who won a tournament, guys like Rick Holland who I fought, and Rickles, and that 155-pound weight class is you know, it's growing and it's becoming deeper and more solid, and that's great. You know, what is life without challenges? What is life without competition? And that's, you know, I didn't get into the sport to kind of, you know, squeak by and kind of test the waters and dip my toe in. You know, I want to jump in head first, you know, and dive in, and that's what I want to do. I want to continue to challenge myself, continue to just prove to myself that I'm in this sport for a reason, you know, and I know I am, and you don't kind of answer your calling in life unless you're being challenged and stepping up to the plate and, you know, laying it all on the line.
And we are here with John Ramdine coming up on 3 rounds. It's a quiet week in mixed martial arts with no UFC event or Bellator this weekend, so you guys are going to dive headfirst into the world of the flyweights.
Yes, of course. You know, everybody loves the big guys, the heavyweights, and we know that Mark Hunt's going to be taking on Fabrizio Verdum in the future, but we're going to tell you why you should love the 125-pound division, because we see skill from top to bottom. The top 10 is loaded with talent, and Robin and I are going to share our thoughts on why we think that division's the best.
It's the only time that the word flyweight and Mark Hunt have been ever used in the same sentence. Coming up next, John Ramdine and Robin Black tackle the flyweights minus Mark Hunt.